All right, so we've talked a lot about the problem. Can you imagine a real game changer that would result in change in the dead zone situation and could really make a difference? And if so, what might that look like?
Uh, the dead zone is obviously a really complicated issue. It drains 42% of the continental United States. The Mississippi goes into the Gulf of Mexico. So there really isn't a silver bullet that could fix the dead zone or make it smaller. But there are a lot of things that could be done that could make significant steps. And some of those are, one of them is for EPA or the states to actually develop numeric nitrogen phosphorus criteria, and that's basically setting, a baseline of like we're not going to allow any more than X milligrams of nitrogen phosphorus in our waters. We have that for arsenic and for ammonia and for lead and a bunch of other pollutants, but we don't. Most of the states don't have that number, and if you don't have that target, it's a lot harder to reach a target if you don't really know what you're shooting for. So I think even though numbers in a book aren't going to magically clean up the water, I think setting those goals and then having the inherent accountability under the Clean Water Act with those numbers would go a long way. And then another silver bullet, if you will, to fix the dead zone is really taking a hard look at how we farm in the United States. Right now, corn prices are extremely high, extremely profitable. And you're having land that was under conservation or raising other crops that's being converted into corn, which then takes a lot of nitrogen fertilizer and causes a bigger dead zone. And so we really need to, if we're talking very theoretical here, changing how we approach agriculture using perennial crops and using cover crops and moving away from corn and soybean rotation or just corn and corn rotations in the Midwest really I think would address the dead zone quite a bit because they wouldn't be using as much fertilizer, and then also just that goes into things like food security and a bunch of other issues that we don't necessarily work specifically on, but it's action on the landscape and taking better care of our farmland and reducing pollution that's flowing off the farmland would be the biggest immediate effect.